Honestly, the reason why I think so many black women are overweight, for women, hormones and like the way that our bodies react to food and the way that America's diet setup just does not work with black genes. Lose the weight.
If we take it all the way back to slavery,
Just stay big at this point.
Oh, when you get in your 30s, baby, that weight gonna stick.
My ex told me that I had to do before he proposed to me was lose weight.
Men are breaking up their long-term significant other because they gain weight.
my relationship ended because he hated my body.
You're able to buy me a car, then you're an eligible bachelor for me.
Also, I didn't want to chime in on this conversation because every time I chime in on conversations about fat phobia, y'all just call me a fat black bitch. But I don't care. Honestly, the reason why I think so many black women are overweight is not only because of how disgusting the food in America is. I think that black women, like for women, hormones and like the way that our bodies react to food and
What kind of excuse is that?
nutrients is very complex in a way that I don't even think the medicine world, especially not Western medicine, has ever taken the time to care enough about to understand. So I think that just the way that America's diet setup just does not work with black genes, especially black women's genes. But also, I think that epigenetically, black women have dealt with so much trauma. Like the reason why black women have higher rates of PCOS, fibroids, just like hormonal issues regarding their menstrual cycle, issues regarding lupus, and all sorts of autoimmune disorders that are just affect black women way more, is because of long-term chronic generational stress passed down epigenetically. Still to this day, black women have never actually been given an opportunity to recuperate mentally, emotionally from the trauma in this country. And I think that that absolutely affects the way that our bodies process nutrients, and it's never going to be taken into consideration because fat phobia is employed to make black women feel like
You can't make this up.
it's a very important aspect of colonization to make black women, amongst black people in general, feel like they are worthless, ugly, useless. And fat phobia is rooted in anti-Africanness. It's rooted in the hatred for the African body, and it is exacerbated by the state of health within the black community due to lack of access to fresh and natural food due to generational poverty, but also due lack of understanding of women's health and the black body. Most of our understanding of health in America is based on white European bodies. Like dairy, for one, is not something that Africans process in a way that Europeans do. Historically, black people's diets were not very similar to that of Europeans. However, the American diet is very much based off of a European standard.
You going to the gym today?
So if we're eating the same food as them, but we're not genetically built to process food in the same way that they do, I feel like the outcome is different. And I think that it's very simple for us as a society to say,
I gotta cut her off. I can't keep letting her talk. She's just talking and not making any sense. Look, everybody, not everybody, but some people have junk foods. The problem is having too much. Your face, the way you look, is the result of having too much. Too much of anything is not good.
well, get up and go to the gym. But I think it's so much more complex. And I say all the time that people who just say get up and go to the gym are typically 99% of the time people who don't understand anything about health and only care about body image and looks.
They will never understand.
Why would we actually do studies on black women's bodies and health and the way that they process nutrients when black women being fat contributes to a lot of the hatred that we spew on them? And then we feel justified in that hate because we live in a fat phobic society where it's like, oh, well, if you don't want to be hated on, just don't be fat.
I'm a victim, even when I'm not.
It's like a cycle of violence that black women are encapped in, and it's based on epigenetic violence against black women. Centuries of rape, centuries of violence, centuries of lack of access to healthy foods, centuries of denial of safe spaces to evolve hormonally.
Tell you something, sis. Lose the weight. Lose the weight. Ignore what your man says, because half the time they about that BS. Yeah, they about that BS. Because, little story time. I was at Walmart today grabbing some groceries. And you know how people like to walk around on their phone with their headset in, talking all loud and stuff. And I'm looking for something in a specific aisle. And this guy's talking, I guess, to his friend about what he's trying to get into tonight. And somehow his lady comes up and he's like, nah, I'm not really worried about her. You know, I'm going to go holler at this little shorty over there. And so, of course, I'm nosy, so I'm going to keep listening because I'm nosy, whatever. So if I hear something interesting, I'm going to, like, you know, poke my ears out and see what the tea is, even if I don't know them, whatever. And so he proceeds to say how he's going to go holler at this other little shorty, whatever. I don't speak slang really well. And he's not really worried about his lady because she got all big and everything, and you know, she used to be cute, but now she all big, and he knows she is not going anywhere. He knows she not going nowhere. Because she got all big. Lose the weight, sis. Lose the weight, because he's telling you, oh yeah, I like you all thick, and I like my women thick and juicy. And he's over there telling his homeboy how you done got all big and you ain't going nowhere. And he's gonna go holler at some little shawty. So yeah, lose the weight and then lose another about 190 and lose him too, because that was ridiculous.
Heard what she said? Lose the weight and then lose 190 and lose him too. She got obese. That's what's happening. That's what men are dealing with. And you have to understand, some of these guys are married to them girls, and they saw them in their glory days, right? A lot of them are like her, right? And they get married and lose themselves. It's so sad to see it, but that's all you see in the community. And watch what it is. Watch what they say it is.
If we take it all the way back to slavery times, women that were in the field and everything like that,
Slavery.
were always stalked.
All right, so I gotta stop it right there because of the music. This brother likes to play music, but take it back to slavery times. Watch what he says in the next video.
Okay, we have officially seen all the excuses for black women being overweight. Look at this shit. Just a quick comment, and might have to do with the slave trade. They made sure the black man was strong and in shape, the ones that was brought over here to the U.S. in the 16th century. It's the 21st century. So you telling me you're back wider than all outside, thicker than 2 Snickers, that happened 6 centuries ago? Yeah, I'm tired of y'all, man. Hey, listen, just stay big at this point. Just stay big. Y'all not gonna blame Krispy Kreme donuts, nothing but cake, Five Guys, Popeyes, late Burger King, Cold Stone, owning a gym membership. Not even drinking 2 glasses of water a day. Slave trade. Thanks, bro. Appreciate that. Good luck. You know I'm gonna tell the truth, and you know I gotta go.
I love the fact they blamed the slave trade. Why is that? Because you guys already know what I'm gonna do. What do I call it? A crime scene investigation. I'm gonna go digging and searching and scouring the internet like a detective. And I'm gonna find some stuff from the slave trade. I'm laughing because I know you're like, man, Jay's petty. Yeah, I'm that petty. Right? Man, I'm gonna show you how this. You're gonna start dying laughing. And what do I always say? Exhibit A.
Story of Sarah Drummond. You should go look it up. Sarah Drummond was a conservative Republican, God-fearing woman who refused to let the shackles of slavery keep.
Hold on. Look at this girl. From slavery. Oh, She was 6'8". She was tall, right? But still, 250. This woman was a specimen. And you know what that's from? That's from slavery. I guess she wasn't doing the housework. She was 6'8", so they had her out in the field. But still, other ladies weren't just big like that. Like, I'm sure you had some that were just slopping down food, but come on now. Come on. Look at her from the slave trade. So you can't just say anything and it'd be okay. Look what she did. Giant that was a slave on a plantation in South Carolina in 1823. She is known for crushing her slave owner's skull with her bare hands.
But I never, when you young, I was always small. So I didn't have to work out. Nobody told me that, oh, when you get in your 30s, baby, that weight gonna stick.
No excuses.
Ain't gonna be small, but because we didn't learn those habits to get up, like I see white people, even in my neighborhood, out early in the morning running around the block. Did you grow up in your household and see any of your parents go outside and run around the block early in the morning?
All right. So if you see them going out to run early in the morning, and I understand you can't run, right? Because you're new. Why don't you go outside and walk? Why don't you say, I'm big. Let me get outside. I need to do something about this. You don't have the motivation. You've never been disciplined, right? You've never really had to get off the couch. Like when you work, after that, you come home and eat. It's not even so much the exercise. Stop putting the fork in your mouth, or not even the fork, because a lot of that is juice and chips and snacks and other things. The overeating.
I want to go
They
outside.
didn't go. Nobody taught us to do that.
Somebody was gonna be food tonight.
Yeah, so we don't learn it until we are overweight, and then you do have to figure out how to lose it. So now you trying to figure out how to lose the weight as an adult with habits you never built growing up. You having to rebuild your whole habit system.
But I will say now, hey, we got the information, right? We got the information. Keep the junk out of the house. If it ain't healthy, keep it out the house. If it's really processed, keep it out the house. We can't lean on, well, our parents said eat everything on the plate. At some point, we need to change the narrative. We gotta be the change, because it's our health. It's the health of our children.
He's holding accountable.
Stop with the flaming hots. Like you know that's bad for you, but we just be, oh, I love that. Like, come on, man.
I'm just saying the bad be good.
He was holding her accountable.
It's always men coming on here saying really weird takes like this. And I've addressed it before, but again, when I met my ex-husband, I was the fittest and healthiest that I had ever been in my entire life. And he literally turned me into somebody that I did not recognize in the mirror. He destroyed everything that I was entirely. My body was...
I gotta read this. It says, why couldn't you lose the weight while you were married? Why does it have to be the revenge glow up? Always, always, always. They always do this. Man.
In fight or flight, and leaving that situation, getting away from that abuse, I'm able to function normally again. So yeah, people glow up after leaving their abusers. That's just kind of like common sense, I feel.
He gonna leave you and marry her. Yeah. He's gonna leave you and he's going to marry her. You've been with him 5 years. 6 years, 8 years, you're giving them babies, you let them ruin your body, and when the right one comes around, because he didn't marry you for a reason, you're a spot holder, you're a placeholder, he's going to leave you, marry her, forget about the children that he has with you, and he's going to move on and live his happily ever after. I don't know who's watching this, but if you're with a man that is scared to commit, if you're with a man that just won't make you his wife after all of this time, the reason is because he does not view you as a wife. He views you as a lifelong girlfriend until his wife comes around. Do you know how many women? Been with a man, you held him down, you gave him your all, you gave him your mind, you gave him your body, you gave him your soul. He leaves you and marries another woman in 6 months. He was a horrible man to you, but a perfect man to her. Why? Because he values her. Stop playing house with your boyfriend when there's a man out here that wants to be your husband. If you need advice, click the link in the bio. Get your sessions today.
Yes, pretty privilege is real. I think I am gorgeous now. But when I was 30 pounds lighter, even my friends would subconsciously tell me I was prettier. I was like, thanks, I've been pretty, but thanks for noticing now. But all that matters, from what I've learned from having more pretty privilege then than I do now, is that all that matters is lifting yourself up. Because even though I had more pretty privilege on the outside when I was skinnier, I have more now from myself, and that is all that matters. So give yourself the pretty privilege you deserve, okay?
One of the very many things that my ex told me that I had to do before he proposed to me was lose weight, and like over 100 pounds worth of weight. Like, I know I'm a big girl, but he got with me knowing I was already a big girl. And mind you, like I said, that was only one thing out of other many things he wanted me to do. And he also said he would never propose until after 5 years of being together.
If you're able to buy me a car, oh God, then but that is somebody having their stuff together. That's somebody who's having their stuff together, right? If you can buy me a car. Not mentally and emotionally. Yeah, right? Not saying I can't buy my own car. I can, right? But I'm saying if you're able to buy me a car and it's not an issue and it's not a threat to your life or to your well-being or to your finances, then you're an eligible bachelor for me.
Nope. Okay. All right. What type of, we talking like Chrysler, you know, a little Honda?
No, we're talking about a luxury vehicle.
Luxury, all right.
Yes, we're past that, honey. I'm grown. If I'm buying myself a luxury car.
One of the things that modern women lack the most with humility and accountability, it's the ability to self-reflect. This woman is every bit of 40 some odd years old, every bit of 50 to 70 pounds overweight, every bit of a 3 or 4 on a scale of 1 to 10, and she has a demand where if you're able to buy me a car, then you qualify to date me. Let's not go in any further on her looks than I've already addressed, but ma'am, you do not qualify for any part of what you describe whatsoever. And I blame social media. Social media has gotten women to see other women have stuff and they just want to have it. But then the other part of social media, part of the subculture of women, is that they tell women you deserve this and that and everything, and absolutely you do not deserve it. You do not. And you lack the ability to self-reflect and understand where you lay or where you fall in the dating market, so you are equipped or better equipped to pair with the right match.
Men are breaking up with their long-term significant other because they gain weight, or like they don't look like how they did at one point when they were dating. And I just don't understand that at all. And the craziest part, like, I have analyzed a lot of relationships that have been going through this phenomenon. The crazy part is that the guy is like receding hairline, like shaped like a Coca-Cola bottle, but like the 2-liter one. Like, it's just so crazy to me. And I'm a problem solver, and I think the root of this problem is that these men have not been humble to their head that they can get any bitch that they want. I've always been a philanthropist. I've always been a member of my community. I've always stepped up when times were needed. And so for this issue, I have started an organization to humble men. If you are unfortunately going through this issue, this problem, you can reach out to me and I will humble your man.
Nightmare. They're ruining each other. Over and over. You just said this man is the provider. He's an old man, but he provides. and because he's chubby, look, that doesn't matter as long as he provides. You ladies are different than us. And what do I say? They not like us. They not like us. Like us. They not like us. They not like us. They're not. Right? Because what men can do when we're older is get the younger ladies, bad or not. Especially if he has the funds. Humble him? How? By getting with him, give him some, or leading him on, then breaking his heart? He's just gonna move on to the next one. These ladies got it confused. They don't know us.
My relationship ended because he hated my body. I really wish that this was one of those satirical videos that I usually do, but it's not. This is probably the hardest video that I will ever make, hopefully. I've debated a lot about sharing this story, but after talking to so many people in my life about this, I am finally kind of ready to share. It was a very long conversation. He kind of told me that he didn't want to tell me the reason why he wanted to break up with me. And I eventually kind of pried it out of him. He said that his therapist also wanted him to tell me the reasoning. He's just like sitting on the couch and he like raises his voice and he goes, "There are just things about your body that I hate." Oh my god. Awesome. If you guys didn't know, I've been pretty open about it. I had an ED for many years. I got treatment for it. After that, I was in another relationship that was extremely stressful and I gained a lot of weight while I was in that relationship because I was stress eating. So within the last like 6 or 7 years, I've experienced both spectrums of relationships with food. So knowing that, you can imagine how difficult it was for me to kind of process that this was the reasoning. Apparently everything else about me was perfect.
I want to chime in really quickly. This girl probably didn't gain too much weight, but when you're eating certain foods, it's not just the weight gain, right? Like you can drink soda and not even be that big, but your face will blow up and your stomach will blow up. You'll be bloated and looking crazy and you only gained 30, 40 pounds. I'll tell you guys, when I first came to the Philippines, I was only 180 pounds. But the way I looked like I was 200 pounds because I was drinking alcohol. Same thing.
But he was not attracted to me. I wish I could go back in time and just hug myself because my first reaction to it, to hearing that he wasn't attracted to me, was I wanted to fix it. I was like, how is there just an issue with like attraction in general in your life? Like what is going on? Which is kind of funny because I feel like that response was kind of like, I definitely know it's not me, but like what's going on? What's going on with you? But he like very confidently was like, no, I've been attracted to other women while we've been together. I'm obviously laughing now, but it was terrible. It was really terrible in the moment. After we had this conversation, I went back home to San Diego. We were still kind of navigating what to do, but I feel like after I heard all of those words, especially the word hate, I just knew that things could never ever go back to normal. Hate is just such a strong word to use about someone else's body, and I know that because like that's the word for so long that I used about my own body. And after going to San Diego, I immediately found a therapist because I was starting to do things that I just hadn't done in so many years. It took us a couple days to break up for real. I think after a little while he realized that he had made a mistake apparently, and he told me that he would stay with me and learn to get over these like thoughts that he was having about me. And it's like, how do you stay with someone who has to learn to find you attractive, like after you've done everything for them and poured yourself out? It's just like ridiculous. I was not going to let myself put myself in that situation, because that's not okay. I know that people have types and stuff like that, but when I asked, like, I was like, is this something that just happened over time? He was like, no, I was never attracted to you. He was like, even on our first date, he wasn't attracted to me. And he was like, oh, so many people think you're so attractive, so I just thought it would grow over time. And I have a pretty face, so, you know, he thought something was going to happen. Which is, like, genuinely, I think, like, the cruelest thing that someone has ever said to me. He was like, oh, you used to be a model, like, I just thought that, like, I could, like, get over it. And it's, like, just shocking to hear that someone needs to get over the way your body looks. I feel like I've even made videos about this type of man, and it's so scary that, like, a size 4 is something that's so unattractive. I literally shudder to think about what these types of people think about women who are bigger than I was. I just ultimately ended up ending things because I just couldn't do it.
I gotta tell the truth. And I know you guys are watching. I'm not gonna cut it off anymore. But she does have a heavy face. And it's something you have to get used to. There are a lot of people with heavy faces. I wouldn't have minded, right? But not every guy's the same. See, what happened is you let it go too far. It's partly your fault. What did you do? The same thing every other lady does. I'm gonna hold on. They sing that song to themselves, play them slow jams. Hold on, and try and try and try. And this happened.
Honestly, in the beginning, it was so hard. My mom wanted to, like, make me feel better, and we went out to buy, like, some new clothes for me. I couldn't even, like, walk past the mirrors at the store. Like, just looking at myself, like, I felt repulsive. I just so easily saw myself through his eyes, because I used to think that way before I went through recovery. And then something just kind of clicked in my head one day. I was like, why would I ever let this man who is clearly mentally ill dictate how I feel about myself? I think ultimately what I didn't relate to is when I love somebody unconditionally. And so the thought of everything being so perfect about a person, but then to criticize their body, a body that has gotten me through recovery, that has gotten me through 2 attempts, that has gotten me through living through a childhood filled with DV. How dare you criticize me and the body that has gotten me through so much, that has done so much for so many people. It's so much in my nature to protect people, and even when we were breaking up, he literally pleaded with me and asked me not to make a mean video about him. And I said that I wouldn't, but the more and more time goes on, I do so much for so many people. What about me? What about my feelings? What about how I feel? This has altered the way I look.
Right there. I'll tell you guys why. Because this is it. I'm going to end the video here. All right. When she said, I have to make a video about it, I just, in my last reaction, showed a lady say, they make videos for content. She was crying, but I feel this is partly for content. Evil world we live in, and it's going to keep getting worse. Thank y'all for watching. But you see these ladies, not so much in her part, but she does look fat around her face. I understand what the guy was saying. I wouldn't have minded. But especially the other ladies, they say slavery. And I'm sure there were a couple of people that were slightly overweight in during slavery, but they couldn't just chomp down food after food after food. They weren't eating like lab rats during the experiment. You know how they just give them cheese, give them other things to do tests. You know, they usually do different tests with medicines on lab rats and have them overeating and then have them not eating. Like, you know, those tests they do. Usually they say tested on humans, but it's tested on lab rats, right? That's how they're eating. And it's sad actually, because I don't like it. I've saw it happen as well with the people that I even would deal with before, where they bump into a guy saying, oh, like how the other lady explained, oh, it's fine. I like you when you're big. And then saying to his boys, oh yeah, I got this cute little thing. That happens. So when a guy's not complaining about your weight, a lot of times there's a reason. Learn something from this video, ladies. Other than that, thank y'all for watching. Peace out. See you next video.
Coming.